All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm Oliver. I'm an artist and a sound engineer, trying to get out of the artistry stuff more into sound engineering, and I'm releasing my 4th album. I've got 3 other albums out at the moment, and
That's sick.
that's me. That's what I do. I do a bit of MMA, a bit of boxing, a bit of Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, stuff like that.
So this is literally introduction hobbies.
Yeah, introduction to hobbies.
This could
stuff
be like
that.
an online TV. This is fucking no.
Yeah, exactly. That's a bit about what I do. But yeah, yourself?
Right. Okay. So I'm Emma G. I am an Instagram whore, and that's not meant to be funny. And I just have like a few accounts. I basically got diagnosed with bipolar, and that really changed my outlook and life about everything. And it just made me like a super passionate advocate for it, because it's still really stigmatized. No one talks about it, and it literally is a killer. So I made like a couple of aliases. I have Upsideown Fairy, and which is purely for mental health, memes and music. And yeah, music is just the biggest coping mechanism for me and so many people with bipolar.
Yeah.
And just like sensory stimuli and anything that kind of like just creative outlooks. That's what it is. Like,
just
there's
creative shit.
Creative shit. Like,
yeah.
there's so many like bipolar like people in history who are like the top of the game with creativity. Like, just amazing. So yeah, I'm really into art and just general expression, but I moved away from like, I'm not like speaking on music. I'm now doing more like artwork, not AI art. I actually really, really fucking hate AI art.
Yeah.
It's just
really, you hate
just
it?
Stop it. Yeah, I think it's
so
quite a cool
thing.
Soulless. No.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it's just, it takes the craftsmanship out of art.
What people are doing at the moment, where they're literally just taking it verbatim, like they take the art and they like literally just generate some random shit. And then
through keywords and like just.
That's a bit weird, but I can kind of see how there's like some influence towards it and like some outlet towards it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not all entirely bad.
No, I just have a problem with it, because people can produce so many different artworks in like a couple of clicks, and I feel like it takes away like the process of like creating a piece of art that actually like kind of takes over a bit of lifestyle and actually like evolves. When it's like art, it's like click and then that's done. But you're right, it does take like creative, it does take us to new heights, like it really does. Like, yeah,
like it's not a bad thing for creativity in that sense.
No, it's not bad. I'm just fucking biased.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But yeah, so what's Pixie Fairy?
Pixie Fairy.
What is it? What is the thing?
Upsideown Fairy. Is this a promotion thing?
Yeah, you can promote it.
I don't want to. Okay.
Alright, fine. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I mean, I'll talk about Upsideown Fairy. It started during COVID as just like a hobby, and then it's kind of expanded, and it's like it's reaching out to people, and I get it's just made me kind of like become aware of like the online e-community for bipolar. There's so many people who make these accounts once they get diagnosed, just to kind of like look for like people who are going through the same thing. And it's also, but what's fucking great is the dark humor. It's like the memes.
Yeah,
like,
I get
fucking love memes. I used
the fucking dark memes. Yeah.
They're the
memes
best.
are an amazing thing. Now, like looking back at it,
they seriously are. They can make any topic funny.
Yeah, they really can.
But that's also a bit of like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm an artist, but I love memes. Like, it's just a bit weird.
You're an artist of memes. That's your thing.
No, yeah, like I do, it is kind of like, it's just wit, a form of wit, I suppose. But
yeah, so linking music and art and creativity and poems and stuff like that with mental health conditions, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's no, my actual passion is poetry. I have a blog, also really wanky, where I post just like, and the kind of poetry I do is kind of linked to spoken word. So I do a couple of spoken word gigs every so often, but I go solo because I'm like, none of my friends can see me do this. And
what's that like though? That's so crazy.
It's a bit of a rush, like,
really.
Yeah, because just the way that I write poems is literally like a stream of consciousness. I don't spend hours over like kind of like technical stuff.
Do people do the clicky thing as well?
No.
They click their fingers. They
No.
don't clap. Oh, really?
Well, they clap to applaud you, but they don't like click, click, click. That's more like. Have you heard of them? Sonar Sounds. I think that's
No.
it. No,
I've never heard of that.
it's basically like just like a collective of people who put on. It's very like DIY events.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, you to get it, you have to win like a raffle. It's just really, it's really awesome. That's kind of like more of a clicky event. It's not.
It's not one of those ones.
It's not like when you do spoken word at like a pub. They're not gonna click. Like no.
Yeah, because that's what I think of when I think of like open slam poetry.
Oh my god, no! It's not slam poetry. What?
It's not slam poetry.
No, please don't say.
Okay, there's a difference between them.
Yes.
I've never heard of the difference between them.
What? I mean, when you say slam poetry, I literally think of that Sonny episode where, like, have you watched this all Sonny?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a great episode where the two of them try and do slam poetry, and it's just like, oh, it was slam poetry is like just like the ugly, like dwarf sister of spoken word, I suppose.
Really?
Like,
so what's the different like categories of poetry?
Well, spoken word is just like written poetry. It's not just like like it's not like off the top of your head, like rhyming. Yeah. And it's not rap. Like, you know, people like, I don't know, Jay-Z can just pick up and spit, and you know, a lot of people do that. Can you do that?
Not really. No, I've never been able to. I've never been able to rap or like anything like that. I can barely sing.
Well, you can sing. No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Listen to his music and sing. You can sing.
Yeah. Well, so the new album is completely there's no lyrics with it.
Really?
It's just instrumentals. Yeah.
You see, that's so like for me. I just like love the power of words, but that's awesome because then people, you don't actually like define it by what you're saying. Other people can kind of listen to it, and
it's more of an interpretation of like whatever you want it to be. Of like, if you take it of like a love or a death album, or like a hatred album, or like just a poetry album. That's awesome.
You leave it up to the like listeners to have inspiration.
Yeah,
what was your emotion when you made it?
I don't really know. I don't go into songs saying like I'm gonna make like a sad song now. But normally I can listen back to them like years later and then figure out the meaning from then.
Really? Hindsight.
I normally like give myself messages in the future to stuff that I've made in the past. So like I'll say some random stuff, and then in like a year or something I'll come back to it, and then I'll understand what I was trying to say to myself at the time. That's normally how my music goes. It's never like an intention of going like, I'm going to make this fourth album about this subject, doing this topics, and this song is going to have this topic. It's just like whatever goes, really.
That's cool. It's like you're not rooted in the present. You're literally just... Yeah. That's really cool.
That's how my music goes, mainly.
Yeah. And so you also like a lot of like making there to be a drop and putting some like funky, like trappy bass stuff in there.
Kind of. Well, with that one that I showed you today, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I really, really like. How come
it's pretty cool.
Why do you want to blend the like genres? And would you keep blending the genres into something else?
Because that's not going on the fourth album.
Oh, is
that's not? That's something completely separate from it. I'm doing a creative course at the moment, so that's like a backing track to a song. So that's got like lyrics, and I've got another guitar part over it. So it's not like the full version of the song. It's more of like just a snippet.
Yeah.
And like just one part of all of the sequences that make up that song.
Yeah.
But the fourth album, like in total, is just sad guitar music, I guess. That's how I define it in that ways. Like I've never really had like a way to define what my music is and like what it isn't. Like I've never found a genre for it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't really know what genre it is, but it's sort of just like acoustic pop, sad stuff.
That's great.
That stuff.
I like how things kind of like, you know, blend genres.
Yeah, it's not really like rooted in like one thing specifically.
You can't like categorize it, but you did just now by being like it's sad. But I feel
I feel like there's always like a minor tone to my music. There's never like there's never a happy tone to it.
I also just just naturally have always preferred like minor key. Yeah, is so much better. Like, so it says a lot about us, like Dark Souls.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I just think I like your music because it like it does like evoke a feeling, and like a lot of people turn to music when they feel sad to listen to sad songs.
Yeah, I've listened to my own music when I'm going through stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I've listened to like crazy shit. And it's cool that you can create music to listen to like when you're going through something.
Yeah.
I've always found that quite cool when you're going through like a real crazy moment. I've got this one song on the fourth album called The Daughter of the Sun. I think it's that one. It's either that one or one of the songs there. It's the second song on the whole album, and it's just one of the craziest songs I've ever felt because it's just got so much feeling behind it. Really.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Does it like kind of trigger you back to past memories, or is it?
Not really. It's more just like an expression of like how I'm feeling at the time.
Yeah.
Because it's so in the moment of the thing.
Timeless. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Also, that's interesting that you go back to your stuff, because like when I like I have like I do kind of like ghost write for a couple of people, but like also I got like there's this 3 sequences of songs that I always listen to when I first like got diagnosed, and then I can't listen to it when I'm depressed, and then when I listen to it again, like it does take you back. But it's pop music's fucking powerful, and it's really, really great. And I just think any expression of the self is really vulnerable. Like it puts you in a vulnerable spot. Like
I've never really felt that.
What?
I've never really felt like vulnerable when making music.
Well, maybe you're just a
don't
pro.
get that. Yeah. I'm just that much of a professional. No, it doesn't really feel like vulnerable in making music. I feel like it's more exposing when you have bad songs. Like when you release something. So on my first album, there's a song called Mistakes on Gemini, and it's one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my entire life.
Did you think it was good when you made it?
I thought it was amazing when I made it.
And yet you called it Mistakes. So you are it is prescient. Like you do connect to your like future self. That's pretty sick.
But then you listen back to it then, and you're so embarrassed by like what you thought was good at the time. Yeah. Versus what like you can actually do now.
Yeah, I'm like that with my poetry. I look back and I'm like the first ever poetry I did was like a spoken word influenced by Skepta. I love grime. I know that's like really. I don't know. I heard someone say that was like really like nowadays? A white thing to say. Is like go to uni and be like, I love grime, just like to fit in. But like everyone goes to that phase. But I fucking love grime. Like Skepta, like they are poets and.
No, they are. Like JME and Skepta are amazing.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I still remember
Dizzy Rascal
Man Don't Care by JME
though. He's the fucking OG. But what did you just say?
Man Don't Care by JME was the first song I ever actually got into, like as a song specifically that I can remember.
As any song specifically?
Just as any song entirely. That was the first song I ever got into.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a crazy. I remember my friend Jonah back in Yavne. It was like this Jewish Orthodox primary school, secondary school actually. And he was like constantly bugging on about this song. It was like constantly going on like, you need to listen to this, you need to listen to this stuff, because he was really into like grime and rap at the time when like it was first being released. So I think it was like a year or two after JME released that. Yeah. And I listened to it and it just changed like everything.
It's crazy like how like it like how powerfully it reaches people. Like they're talking about very specific things about like, you know, growing up in certain environments and like the violence that's attached to their past and like the people they encountered and stuff, that like I would never, like from fucking suburbia like Windsor, like obviously not, and yet I listen to his music and I'm like it's just the
you
aggression,
feel like you can relate
like
to it,
it's just like it's
because there's an aggression to grime.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
But also just like the rhythm of it and like the beats that go like like in another life I would love to just create beats. It's just awesome. But obviously now my poetry isn't like based off Skepta. It's like just my own kind of.
I can imagine you making like a Skepta type beat.
Lol. Really? But yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, I'm also just like, I don't think I could ever be a solo musician artist. But like, and yeah, I'm more happy. Like, I'm much more like comfortable releasing like the kind of art that I do because.
So is it just poetry that you release?
That I publish?
Yeah.
Or no, now with Emoji I've done my own. It's kind of cool. So like on Emoji I get like, obviously you have to ask for consent from artists, and if they are happy to like for me to, you know, call them neurodivergent, and each post is like, I don't just go for really like, you know, people who are quite successful who have like thousands of like 25,000 thousands of followers and also like galleries that promote them. Yeah. Like I just even turn to like people who I met in the Priory who were so like create beautiful just doodles and art stuff, and like so I kind of made like a thread that's like, oh, into the cycle journal of this person. I did one for myself, and that was like cool. But I kind of, so I made a website with it that's basically about art, design, poetry and photography, everything basically all in one go. And it is like, it's a website that's pretty arresting.
Not just your stuff, right?
No, of course not. Not. I did like most of the poetry's mine, but like everything else is other people who have like let me share their work, which is really cool, and who are like also neurodivergent. But like now I really actually am just like, I'm actually really like really doubting like the kind of theme that I'm going for. Like, why should I promote just neurodivergent artists? And it's like you said, you don't want to make your
just
illness
promote anyone, really.
Yeah, no, I know, but like I think because
what do you want to make it
this
specific
feels like
to
double
it?
stigma. I don't know, but like the fact that it's now becoming woke, and a lot of artists are like, yeah, like your mental illness doesn't define you, and like shouldn't like define your art, but like it is a part of you and a part of your expression. It has to be quite like, it's got to be authentic, and it has to like come from like your your brain. And if your brain thinks in a different way, like why the fuck shouldn't you say that? But I've actually got heat from friends who've been like, yeah, it's just a trendy word, like you should just make art and, you know, not say.
I can kind of see that, like, just make art and just fuck everything else. Like, it's just art, just leave everything else behind at all.
Yeah.
But I can also see, like, you want to promote yourself as this, it's a part of it.
And I wonder, as like a mental health advocate as well, like, I'm sorry, like there has been like a mental health revolution in the last 5 years, but I'm a bit older, and like with like back in the day when I first got the misdiagnosis of depression, like I don't know what was happening out because no one talked about it. Like the only
there's a lot more people talking about mental health in general nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's with all the social media stuff, it's okay, but like I just hate how people think it's trendy. Like, it's not trendy to have a mental illness. It's fucking, I wouldn't wish it upon anyone else, and it's not the most interesting thing about you.
Because you can commercialize it, so I guess you can it gets corrupted because you can commercialize it, really. Yeah,
but then if you think about like representation, like the film industry, like if they say you have like BPD or mental illness, you're immediately the villain, or like something that's gone wrong. And then I also, sorry, not to rant, I'm really getting into this.
No, go for it.
But like, so I watched Don't Look Up. Have you seen it? Yes. Like, so like incredible like director who did like okay, I'm blanking. What's it called? What's it called? The one where like Margot Robbie did like a scene in the bath. It was about the president. Okay, fucking whatever. Yeah. It's a really great film, and it's like a lot of like really like amazing people like collabed on it. But there was like a line where basically Jennifer Lawrence's character is on an interview on like some news channel, and she goes crazy. She's like, I can't believe I just said that, but like she gets really passionate, and she's like, no, we're all about to die. And then like it flicks back to her boyfriend watching it, and then one of the other guys doesn't say anything. He was just like, oh, don't worry, my mate has bipolar too. And I was like, what? Just because she's expressing herself in a really real situation, like there's a comet coming to kill everyone, and then suddenly like, oh, I know someone's bipolar too. And it's like, do you know what I mean? There's a certain like, they only take like the manic and like the manic element of bipolar and put that into like
it's a problem.
They don't talk about like depression, and they are doing it more now. Like I kind of like Euphoria, which is
I haven't watched it, but
I can't feel how have you not watched Euphoria? I just
haven't watched it, man.
Yeah, I feel like it's a digital Gen Z like version of Skins to me. Like but it's cool. She has bipolar, which they talk about a bit in the first season, which is actually really good, but then the second season they didn't. But anyway, I just don't like.
So you think there should be like a better representation for bipolar disorder and like mental health conditions in general in film and TV?
Yeah, I just think there's like, I think bipolar people should act bipolar people, and I feel like people who are writing about like a mentally ill character should at least, you know, do like like oral research or whatever with other people to make it as authentic, accurate.
Yeah,
because
that's where you get
that's
into
where
like the
people's-
weird thing with like SEO and like not actually
Yeah.
having autistic people play as an autistic actor there.
Yeah.
Which does go into grey areas, but I can kind of see like both points of view.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
testament to their acting ability to do that, but also like there's, like we said, there's so many
Yeah,
talented.
you can have like you can run into a thing where it's like you're not actually representing these people.
Yeah, or it's just like you'll misrepresent. It's more the writing and the direction of
Yeah.
it. Like I think it's less about the actors, but it's just
Okay.
yeah. If you're gonna write, just write a good. And also like don't, if you're gonna write like a mentally ill character, don't make all their like character scenes about them talking about mental illness. Like that's not the only thing about them.
Yeah,
Make them
that's
into
fair.
like actual characters with a plot line and a canon. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
I see what you're saying though. It makes sense. Like there should be more of a representation in film of like different people, just in general. Just like you just need to have a different perspective of people all around the globe.
Because that's like
Yeah.
media, like any form of media, like music, films especially, like that's where people form opinions, and how like there's so much misrepresentation, disinformation. That's how like like stigma basically like isn't like originated, invented,
No, I
like
can
it
see that.
skews people's minds.
So that's what you're trying to help with your
Yeah,
Upsideown Fairy profile.
yeah. Basically, I'm just
Okay.
like I'm just being really honest about the symptoms and trying to like portray the real lived experiences of someone or people with bipolar, and some of it's intense, but most of it is just like memes and music. But like I do, like there's always a hidden message between anything, and like I think it's not like just, it's actually educational. Like some of my friends like don't even know, like most people don't even know that there's like 2 types of bipolar or more. Like there's loads of types of bipolar.
I don't actually know the 2 different types, even though I am bipolar.
Yeah,
as well.
lol.
I still don't get most of it.
It's just like,
I'm
and
just not read up on it really.
and that's why I like neurodivergent, because it is like bipolar has got ADHD, you've got depression, you have like psychosis, you know, it's it's just a mixed bag.
It's like all encompassing from like that one
Yeah.
thing.
And for sure, like autism as well. Like people with bipolar also get diagnosed with autism. It's just, it's, yeah. And if people know about it, I feel like they will know how to act around people who do have it,
Yeah.
and not do subliminal stigma or like say the wrong thing. Like for when, not so much now, but when I first got diagnosed, like manic was a really triggering word. And when people would be like, yeah, I was really manic today, I would just like freeze up, and then it's just, yeah, you know. And like so I don't know about you, but like I felt like being in the choir was like an education, like just seeing how what PBT
Yeah,
like
it
borderline
really
personality
is.
people really like they're not.
It is like a crash course on mental health in
It
general.
literally is, because you see
Yeah.
it, you witness it, and like
To explain properly, so we were both in the Priory,
right,
and it was basically a mental health hospital for adults, and we met. This is how we met actually.
yeah.
And I stayed about 2.5 months or so. Yeah, it was that long. I don't actually know it was that long. My mum told me that like a few days after it, and I was like, shit, that was a long ass time. And I can't remember any of it.
I just remember like, but I think both of us were taking similar like quite heavy meds, and like some
Yeah.
of the staff came in, and we went into like the rec room, we were like, yeah, we're gonna make some music, la la la. Like we were just like rolling around, and I don't really, again, like like I don't really remember much, but I just remember one of the guy being
that's
like,
one of the
I
things.
didn't realize like how like he was like, I didn't realize how like high you guys were. Like he was expecting like us to like play like a fucking symphony on the piano,
Yeah,
and we were
yeah,
just
yeah.
like not doing that.
I remember like the first time when you got the speaker out and shit like that,
Yeah.
and you had like your multiple phones and stuff like that, and you're just trying to connect to it.
Ugh.
It was so funny. But like you look back at your manic episodes, and like you look back at like times when you weren't the best, and it's normally like really funny looking back at those times. At least for me.
I mean, for
I find
you,
it hilarious.
I find
so
it funny
funny.
that you think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I know, I also do like I've done really funny, stupid shit, but
Yeah.
like I've like, and it's
'cause
so I just want to be
didn't-
manic all the time, but also not, because I
Yeah.
remember some really dark shit. Like,
Because I had some just really funny and stupid shit when I was manic, and like when I had my like real crazy episodes, when I thought I was Jesus and like I was gonna save everyone, and like
don't worry, I thought
the
Kanye
earth
West was
gonna
my
come
best
back to it.
friend.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that, and then just slowly and slowly, like you wake up from like your disorder, and like you wake up from all of this sort of stuff, and you get back to it, and you just realize like what you've just done, and you just say like you say the craziest, most random shit. I've said some really horrible stuff to some people,
Yeah.
and then you look back at it, and like some of it's funny, some of it's not so funny, and it's just like a whole mixed bag
Yeah.
of like being in that state and just being in that episode, really.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's like there's so many like downsides to like aggression and stuff. And what's interesting about like with my family and everything, like I I hate depression so much more than mania, but the people around me hate me more when I'm manic than depressed, because I just like am incoherent, like speech, and just like doing really fucking risky shit, and like, you know, befriending everyone, and like I don't know.
I get what you mean.
Yeah.
You're just not in the right state of mind. You're just not in the right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's so obvious to other people, but to you, like you're so unaware of it. Like you're not.
You're so out of it that you have
Yeah,
no idea what's going on at all.
You have no self-awareness
Yeah.
at all, but you feel fucking great. Like
Yeah, you really do.
like it's so tempting to kind of like go off meds and be back there, because like you feel so sharp, you feel so intelligent. And
I remember I had like a Krav Maga session on when I was at like one of my most manic states. I had a Krav Maga session. It was like a mixed martial arts session. And it was like the craziest thing I've ever had, because I was like so straight on the line, like doing everything 110%.
Yeah.
And then you get back to the ward, and then you're like, oh, that was just me on like a really manic episode,
Yeah.
like the right time and the right time, literally the right place at the right time. And I just happened to be doing some exercise, and like my mind was so focused on it.
I know.
I've never achieved like anything like that.
Me
before.
too. Like I'm some of
And
the,
then you,
like
like,
the
wanna
best
get back to that
poetry.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the best poetry I've written is when I'm like up like I call it upswing, but let's just say manic.
Yeah.
And just so high functioning. Like I got to the last stage of like a really great job when I was up. Don't ask me how, but that was just like incredible to get there. Now that I'm like not rational, but I'm like riding at a 5, like technically stable. Like the technical term for it is euthymic, and it's fucking boring, and I'm so slow, and like everything is just.
Like, do you sort of regret it then?
Regret what? Being stable?
No, like I have no idea.
Yeah, I regret being stable. I want to be up all the time. I want to get the sweet spot, which is like
Yeah, get
on
the
the
sweet
scale
spot.
is
Yeah.
like 6.5.
So not so manic, but not.
Don't
like,
want to be at a 10 ever, because that was like
Yeah.
hallucinating. And I had a mixed episode where I was like,
really.
I was so angry at myself. I literally wrecked my room in the Priory. Like I took everything to shreds, and like
Yeah, I did the same thing.
yeah,
I did the exact same thing.
yeah. And that's when
I
you were like,
remember they
it's so
moved me.
uncomfortable
Do you-
being
do you
up,
remember
because
room
everything's so
7?
intense. Huh?
Do you remember room 7?
Room 7.
It was just outside of the meds room. It was like the really
Yeah.
nice room there.
Yeah.
I got put in that room for like 20 minutes or something. I had like the
Yeah,
height
last-
of luxury, and then I fell back down to the other fucking room. I
Are
don't
you
know why I
in like
switched.
the, what do we call them, the danger rooms? Because
Yeah,
they
it was
literally
like a
had
safety
room. Yeah.
I have no idea. I've no idea why they switched me into that room for whatever fucking reason.
Well, I was hospitalized 3 times last year, and by the 3rd time I was like, I want the room with the bath, and I want this one, and they were like, okay, Imogen. And
I remember I
like,
was in a bathroom as well.
it's
like,
such
the
a
bath
luxury,
was
like, yeah.
It's because the safety rooms are like so utterly shit.
No,
The
they're
bathrooms
actually
in the
really
safety
bad.
rooms, yeah.
Like it is kind of like
And
a
then
prison
the luxury
cell.
you get of like just having a bath is so it's
man.
so crazy to like tell people
Yeah.
that. Of like just having a bath is
It
like
was
the most
like
amazing
the
thing.
most incredible thing, but also like the meds were so good, like the drugs were so good, like
Yeah, the stuff you were
lorazepam.
given.
Oh my god, like
I'm still fiending for quetiapine. I really want some.
really,
Like, because I remember it from like when like
it is fucking
previous
great.
admissions. It is the most insane drug ever. Quetiapine is some like serious shit. If you're on some like Xanax or like coke off the street or like ketamine off the street, get some quetiapine. It's amazing, honestly.
It is. It's actually one of the most addictive drugs.
Yeah, if you can from your dealer, get it. It's fucking
No,
crazy.
they should never put that on the streets. No, because what if they like cut it with something else? It could
Yeah,
be, like,
that's fair.
but also
that's
like,
fair.
yeah, you're gonna hate this, but I'm on 700 quetiapine.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
800's the top, but that's because I'm just got a crazy brain.
It's the most intense
But-
drug though,
Yeah,
because like the high from it, if you stay up just after it.
it was amazing. No, like I was very, very, very depressed, and as soon as they put me on just 200 typing, I was so up. And you did get high. Like for me, I literally felt like I was on acid and ket at the same time, which I have experienced. So like the walls were like going like fucking strobe light purple and stuff, and I was like so high.
That much.
Huh?
I don't remember it that much when I had it, but I just remember it was amazing.
Oh god, it's incredible. But
Yeah.
the only problem is you do like build up a tolerance for it.
Yeah.
So, but it's the best one for me because I'm actually like, you know how they're like, oh, it makes you put on weight. Like it doesn't actually make me do that. I'm
really?
Yeah, I'm actually quite lucky.
I was trying to put on weight. Like before I went to the Priory, I was trying to put on weight, and then I got on all of these meds, and it's now paying me put on like 10 kilograms.
You do not look like.
Yeah, I don't look.
You don't
like
look.
it.
You look more
I'm
like.
almost at it, but like I'm trying to get there though.
You don't. You look like the right build for your like.
Yeah.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the right build for me, but like weightlifting and all that sort of shit. Blah blah blah. Yeah, because I do that as well.
Trying to bulk up.
It helps.
I want
so
to bulk
much,
up.
Yeah.
I think it's really like obviously exercise is like textbook best best antidepressant for you.
Yeah, just best everything for you.
It really is actually like 6 minutes. It improves your like.
Yeah, I had a crazy workout session last night.
Yeah,
it was like 2 rounds of circuits, and I thought we were only doing one of them because actually my instructor's away in Israel at the moment. There's a lovely guy called Ben Wagstaff. If you ever got some time to go to Krav Maga class, he's fucking brilliant. Little plug. And so he's away at the moment, so he's handed off to one of the blue belts, and he then, I don't know why, but whenever he goes and like sets the class to one of the other belts to take the class for him, they just do like cardio and exercise and stuff like that, and it's like one of the most physically draining exercises sessions that I've had in like such a long time. Was just last night.
Can you do it solo? Sorry.
Yeah, you can do it slowly.
Yeah, solos. Like, do you need could you just do it in your room now that
Not
you've
really.
done it once? Okay.
I guess like the exercise part of it you can, but like the actual syllabus stuff you can't really.
Okay.
You need to be with other people, you know?
Okay, cool.
But anyway,
Yeah,
anyway, small plug, but yeah.
Let's just stop talking about like exercise. Like, I hate gym people who are like, yeah, I did like this and this workout and like next abs day. I'm like, ugh. I just hate gym people and like in general, like when they just look at a mirror and like stare at themselves, like pulling weights, like
Yeah.
And also, it's just like
I can kind of see the hate towards
girls wear
it.
like makeup to the gym now.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't really notice it at the gym that I go to.
Well, maybe that's 'cause
I've never noticed that.
Yeah, I just think it's for like self-absorbed,
I
really
know
like superficial people.
yeah.
Like, why would you spend 6 hours of your day trying to build up muscles when you could just like do a 30-minute workout and then do other stuff that's a lot more interesting than your own body?
I guess just like other people are just differently passionate about it. Like
yeah,
there's guys at the gym.
I think there's addiction as well.
There's this one guy called Chris who's the manager there, and he's just so passionate about it, and he just loves it so much. And you talk to him just about anything about exercise, and like he's so tuned into all of like whatever he's doing there. He just loves it so much.
Yeah. I'm just maybe it's just because we have different interests.
I don't know. It's his passion.
No, that's pretty cool. If it like it's awesome for people to have passion.
Yeah.
And I suppose if it's about exercise, that's a good thing as well because it's just great for your brain. But apparently, it's actually not best for weight loss. Apparently, it's all diet.
Oh really?
Yeah, I got sent to a clinic in Zurich when I first got diagnosed.
It does take a massive
and the
effect.
The PT was literally like, it's all diet. Like, if to exercise actually does like tone you up, but like if you want to lose weight, you kind of got to cut out all the bad shit.
Well, I was carnivore for a little bit, and that was amazing.
Well, being a carnivore,
just all meat, just an only meat diet is the most amazing thing I've ever done, and I wish I could go back to it. Really, yeah. It sounds crazy to say.
No, that's the Dookie diet. It's like you only eat meat for a while, and then you introduce others and carbs and stuff, and it actually makes you. Yeah, apparently that is really good. But then
it's amazing for brain function. You have no idea. Yeah, it was like because I did it during the Edinburgh Fringe Festival when I was doing intermittent fasting and carnivore. So I was doing literally like a piece of toast and then an apple and then just as much meat as I wanted. It was the most amazing thing. I would literally wake up, I'd have like an apple in the morning, like a little bit of toast, and that was like my early morning snacks. So I didn't really count it as a meal. And then I'd get back home and I'd have like pork chops and like steak and like ground beef and all this stuff. It was just amazing.
That's actually...
I'd love to stay on that diet if I can now. My parents are kosher, so I can't really.
Yeah, shit.
Because I'm still living at home at the moment, so it kind of sucks.
Yeah. No,
But
I really, I actually don't know who to believe anymore, because there's so many theories out there. Like, I heard, like, for as humans, it's actually really unhealthy to eat meat every day. Like, you should only have it,
yeah,
like, maybe
there's a lot of
twice a
conflicting
week.
opinions.
And then, like, I don't know, but also I'm
I
not
think
carnivore
I think
anymore.
it's a personal. It's a personal thing.
I think
really.
it's like an ethical thing, but then they also talk about like the biology of it. Like, if you're only like back in the day, men were carnivores and ate meat every day. Right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, so
Like, you'd imagine it as like hunter-gatherers. They wouldn't have pasta and stuff like that. Like, it's really bad. Like, pasta and carbs and stuff like that is really, really bad for you.
It's just pure sugar, pretty much.
Yeah, it's sugar and glucose and fats and all this sort of stuff, and it's just like there's nothing else that is worse for you than just a massive bowl of pasta.
Oh yeah, but I think
Like, the brain function after you have that. I think when
that's
you
true. That's actually very true.
When you can understand properly, like, your brain function of like how I feel after like an ice bath and a sauna, and then like just some pure grass-fed, grass-finished meat, and like you experience that, you can see the difference in that.
No, for sure.
After you have like spaghetti hoops or something like that.
No, because but no, it's like your gut is actually one of the main producers of serotonin. It's not just your brain, but so that is actually very true. Trying to eat healthily, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think it's healthy to be one of those people who are like calorie, like, you have those like diet apps and like count the calories. Like,
it can be detrimental.
Energy, like,
it can be detrimental.
Like, if you just think like, if you like, actually, no, sugar is really bad. I am an addict, so I am addicted.
You're a lot of different addicts. Yeah,
I am addicted to sugar and nicotine and coffee. So
yeah,
but yeah,
it's probably the worst three to be addicted to.
I mean, really,
There's worse,
yeah,
but still, it's like the casual ones,
Yeah,
It's
well,
just-
I mean,
it's-
sugar,
I
diabetes.
just don't really experience it because I've never been allowed milk. Like, I'm lactose intolerant, so I've never had milk. So I never really got into like chocolate bars and sweets and candy and all this sort of shit. And then coffee and tea, because you can never have milk with it. I never got into that.
I was wondering how you
then-
managed to abstain from everything, and that makes sense
Yeah.
now because
Yeah,
of
'cause I can't-
lactose. Yeah.
I can't have it, so it just doesn't really make an effect to me, really.
God. I'm just after any kind of high, like a sugar rush high.
You just fiend for more,
Yeah.
more and more high.
Yeah, ever since I actually am like clean and sober,
Yeah,
like
I'm trying to like detox from like using my phone too much, and like I'm trying to go on just.
I love how we went from addicts to phones. Like,
Yeah.
that's an ad. Like,
Well, I'm trying to like de-cleanse my phone and go more into getting my dopamine from like ice baths and exercise nowadays. Like, I notice it's more of a problem nowadays.
yeah, I mean, dopamine from music, dopamine for like
Yeah,
art,
true.
like just
creative outlets and like
Yeah.
healthy stuff to be addicted to.
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, like I think I'm not addicted to exercise. I still get that.
You
I
like
don't
talking
wanna go.
about it.
Yeah, I like talking about it. So it's kind of fun. But I don't think I'm addicted to it
No,
specifically.
but I
Like, I
think
feel like I
you-
want to be though. Like, how do I get myself like a weightlifting addiction?
Stop. If you start having muscles that are bulging from your neck, like they're just
Yeah.
glamour muscles. Like, what are you fucking using them for? As soon as
Well,
you
but
get
so
that,
being-
I'm going
so
to sit you
being-
down.
Being natural, that's just never gonna happen.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, and I don't understand how people think that's attractive. Like,
It's just personal opinion, I guess. I find like muscular women attractive. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I know. It's obviously like you want to feel good, look good, feel good. But like, these actors. Sorry, not to bring
Yeah.
it back to TV and television, but these actors, people who take their top off in like these like Hollywood films. I'm not talking about like normal like art house or indie films at all, but like like the big budget Hollywood films.
Yeah.
They dehydrate themselves.
Yeah,
Have
that's
you heard of
true.
this? They dehydrate themselves.
Yeah, it's
Eat
water
loads of
weight.
sugar, no water, and so their abs kind of are more well defined.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's
get
crazy. They should just go 300 and just spray paint it. Like, honestly, it's so unhealthy for these like
It is a bit
actors.
unhealthy.
They go
Yeah.
through crazy diets for films, and then like also if you're gonna be really strict about your diet, and then you go loose one time, you're gonna put on so much weight. Like,
Yeah, it's a crazy world out there. It really is a crazy world.
it's a crazy world. Yeah, I mean, it's mad what's going on. Like, America's
doing
actually
everything.
thinking about banning TikTok.
Really?
Yeah,
That's probably a good thing, though.
it's definitely a good thing. Like, all that data time is harvesting
Yeah.
from it. Like, fuck me. But also, like, yeah, some of the content that gets around on TikTok for like a minute is like actually making the younger generation stupid. Like, you have a concentration level for
So
a minute,
have
and they
you
spend
heard- have you
hours
heard
on
about-
it. And they downgrade it from the Chinese one where the teenagers are in
Yeah, I
like
was
40
about to say, have
minutes.
you heard of the Chinese
Yeah,
one?
they upscale it to like technology, maths,
Yeah, and,
engineering.
like science based.
Yeah, rather than like my sister was on mermaid TikTok, and I was like, what the fuck?
Mermaid TikTok.
Yeah,
That's
it
a
was
thing.
like mermaid sightings. Just, I don't know, it was fucking stupid. Like, it's just so stupid.
Yeah.
But then I do want to say, like, the mental health, like, neurodivergent thing that's happening on TikTok, it's become so trendy. And, like, there's top times for ADHDs if you keep tapping your foot or have scattered thoughts. And everyone's like, I have that. And there's actually a saying now of, like, when you go to psychiatric hospital, like, for a lot of people, it's just like, oh, I'm just going to this camp where in Arizona where, like, it's like a health camp. They call it, like, grippy socks or something like that. And, like,
What?
for me,
I've
that just
never heard of
crossed,
this.
like, an invisible line because, like, being in it, like, you know what it's like being in a psychiatric
Yeah.
ward. It's fucking awful.
Like, say what it is.
It's-
Like, say it how it is, really. You
Y-
can't really lie about it.
No,
You're
you
in a psych
can't.
ward.
It's fucking tough. But, like, I feel like they're kind of glamorizing it a bit by being like, I'm going to a
Yeah.
retreat. I'm like, that's not a psychiatric hospital. You're not seeing people, like, obviously, actually, the Priory, we were really privileged because it's kind of like a private one. But if you go to an NHS one, which my friend did, it's like you don't have the security. He woke up with someone else in his room who was just way out of it. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's actually really scary. Like, in the Priory, we would, like, say, but we got checked on every 5 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of times someone walked into me when I was in the bath, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And the staff there can be quite
Wait, which room were you in?
strict. Okay, so the first one, I was in room 13. And then,
I was in room 12.
were you?
Yeah.
What's the big one? You know when you walked in. And
Yeah,
got the
room
second-
7's the big one.
No, but there was I think it was in the 20s. I think it was 22. It was fucking massive.
Really?
But there was
No
also,
idea.
there was also like a women's.
Yeah, there's also a women's
yeah,
section.
yeah,
And there was
yeah.
a guys section as well.
Yeah.
Did you ever go down the guys section?
Lol, yeah. I managed to have sex in the ward.
What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, me
When
and Tommy
was
would just like
this?
make this is the first time. By the way, hypersexuality is such a symptom of bipolar. I just want to put it out there. It's seriously intense. But anyway, so me and Tommy were just like making out, and then I was like, we just had
Wait, he
stroke
was
of
on the
luck.
ward?
Like no one was around, and I just walked in, and then he waited, and he walked in, and then we just turned on the shower, and yeah, no one checked. Obviously, we
Damn.
must do a really quick job, but like,
That's
yeah.
so crazy.
No
I
one
didn't realise he was in the
checked, and,
Priory as well.
Huh?
I didn't realise he was in the Priory as well.
That's how we met.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got rapid cycling.
Mm.
But
You meet some crazy folk in the Priory, honestly.
I feel like it's such intense relationships. Like I remember this girl Kai, she has schizophrenia, and we were in the rec room, and we were just like dancing together. And usually like my meds will make me pass out at like fucking 10 o'clock, and we were there at like 10:30. And the people and all the night, like they had the handovers, they had the night shift, and everyone was like looking at us like, why aren't we going to bed? But she just gave me, she had such good energy, made me.
Yeah.
The nurse came over and they were like, right, you need to take your meds. And I was like, oh, Kai, that's for you. You're schizophrenic. And they were like, no, it's for you, Emma G. And I was like, what? So they came back and they gave me like a triple dose of lorazepam. And I was looked
A
at Kai.
triple dose?
Yes.
How do they do that?
3 milligrams, right, of lorazepam. And I turned to Kai and I was like, you're amazing. Like, can I be around you all the time? Like, unfortunately, I'm gonna get dark. She died by suicide on November the 5th, and
Oh, really?
yeah, anyway, but yeah, anyway, to make light of it, I tried to get a twin flame tattoo on my finger,
Mm.
which we called each other, and my friend Archie designed it. There's like a flame within a flame, but instead
Yeah.
of doing stick and poke, we got this gun out, and now it looks like an avocado. Literally,
I was
an
gonna say I
avocado.
didn't see that last time I saw you.
Yeah, I got an avocado on my finger.
You
like,
got an
what the fuck?
avocado. So is it an avocado or
I
is it a
hate
flame?
avocados. I don't.
I've
even
never
eat
had
them.
avocado.
Oh, what?
I've never had
It's
it.
the bougiest thing, like avocado.
What does it taste like?
It's just like, it's a really fatty fruit, but it just tastes horrible. It's very rich, like really, really rich, like kind of like creamy. I hate
Wait,
it.
is it a fruit or a vegetable?
It's got a seed in it, like a big seed.
Yeah.
Does that
well,
make
I
it?
know that. I'm not that retarded.
But
I
does
know
that?
avocado's got a fucking
Wait,
seed in
no,
it.
does that make it a fruit then? Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like vegetables don't
Yeah,
have
vegetables
seeds.
don't have seeds inside of them.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a fruit for sure.
Wait, but like black peppers do. Or red peppers do.
Say what's a black
Yeah.
pepper? Yeah, you're right. Peppers do.
I have no idea. We're
I-
not scientists.
No, I'm not.
That's definitely the one thing we're
Also,
not.
not nutritious either. Like,
Yeah. I
food
see
is
what you
just
mean.
food. Like, whatever.
What's your favourite food? Gotta ask that. What was your favorite food?
Oh, okay. I'm so basic. Like I'm a very cheap date. I just love. No, it's actually not that cheap, but I just love sun-dried tomatoes, tuna, capers in a pasta sauce.
Okay.
Tomato pasta sauce. That's my
Alright.
favorite thing.
Mine's
Actually, no,
pasta.
my favorite thing. No, sorry.
Mm.
My favorite thing is a chocolate cake. Okay.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate
Okay.
cake. Yeah, okay, your turn.
That's fair. Pasta and sausages is the most amazing thing ever designed in the entire universe. With tomato sauce on top of it. I had that earlier today.
Do you put chili in it?
No, what the fuck, chili? What the fuck are you on about?
No, that's
What
like
the fuck are you on about, Emma?
no. In Italy, there's like a whole sauce for like spicy chili.
No, just
No.
tomato sauce. Just plain tomato sauce.
I love your reaction though, because like my parents
Chili?
are obsessed with chili. They put
What
chili
wanker
in
puts
everything.
chili in it?
Yeah.
What wanker puts chili in it? That is one thing from the private that I did get though. Like
What?
good at spices.
Really?
Yeah, I could never handle spice before it. But then when it was like, it's not an option.
Yeah.
You
The
got
food
fine
was
with
actually
it.
not bad.
It was really good.
It was
food.
really good.
Do
They
you
had
remember the
mackerel
fish,
every time.
Fish and chips on Fridays.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
They also give you dessert. They don't
Yeah.
advertise it, but they give you dessert. It's great.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But I do have to say, like, I feel like I really made such close friends in the Priory because
Yeah, you really do.
you can just like you see each other at your worst, and you're so like
It's a
unadulterated.
different kind of
You're
friendship,
literally
you know?
not like pretending to be normal yourself or a version of yourself you thought that was normal. You're just like completely raw, and then when you see each other again, you kind of bring back that energy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is like, it's a different kind of friendship because of it.
Yeah, for sure it is. I just think it's it's just like I just think it's more, it's one for a long time. It's not just like a flimsy thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And yeah.
Well, look, it's been cool chatting with you. It's been lovely.
Yes, thank God we're wrapping
As always, we finally did this.
I know.
The amount of times we delayed this.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's fine.
I'm
Well, yeah,
really
anyway.
shy. I'm really fucking shy.
Yeah, it doesn't need to go out anywhere, but if it does, enjoy it. Follow your stuff on social medias.
Do I have
Upside
to
Down Fairy.
Okay, so it's at _. And then the Emma-G. Just look. I would prefer you to look on the website actually, which is just www.emagy.co.uk. Because also it's a pun between like Emma G. My name's Emma George, but like lol. It was actually when I first got diagnosed, I got
Emma
upswing. I
George.
was like, everyone call me Emma G. I'm Emma G now. But anyway, my name's Emma George. But anyway, Emma G, and it's a pun between energy and Emma G because like
Emma G. Yeah.
I like to bring the energy around.
Energy.
Emma G. Like, I get
can
discount
imagine that as
coffee
like a
from
rap
people in
name.
cafes. I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Emma
yeah.
G. But
I could imagine that as like a rap name.
I know,
Emma G.
right? I thought I was a rapper, but I'm not. I'm just a poetry. I just like poetry. I
Yeah.
don't. But yeah, you're a performative misfit. You
I am.
are. You
I
like
am a
putting
little
your
bit.
shit out there, and that's I admire that
I've got,
so
I've got
much.
got my fourth album coming out on the 20th of March.
Sick.
Coming up soon, and it's going to be
Nice.
released on the Upside Down Fairy stuff.
On the
Hopefully.
Emma G stuff, not Upside
On the
Down
Emma
Fairy.
G stuff,
I
on the
mean, no,
Emma G stuff.
I'm the Upside Down
Anyway.
Fairy actually has like over 1,000 followers. That's probably the
Oh,
best
really?
platform to do it. But
Exactly.
Emma G, I don't know. I want to make a distinction between it, but
Okay.
actually, no,
Well,
I
yeah, it's
don't.
gonna be
No,
released.
fuck it.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be all
released.
over my socials.
gonna be
I'm gonna
everywhere.
throw the
It's
shit
gonna be
out of
cool.
this. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the album. I've got to say, I'm really, really proud of this new album.
Oh, I'm really
there's
happy.
no shit songs on it. That's my goal. There's no shit songs on it.
Okay.
That's it. Anyway, thank you very, very much for listening. I will see you all soon.
Bye.